Hush, Itumak.
Hello. A dwarven woman dressed in skins and hides leans against the road marker. Her face is turned down, her eyes darkened by a thick stripe of face paint. She's sharpening a bone arrowhead with a scrimshaw handled knife. Her attention, however, is focused on a bare figure between her feet. A large white furred fox standing at her heels looks up at your approach.
Easy, Itumak. It's not him.
Who are you waiting for?
Short version? I'm looking for a very, very old friend. I'm not sure what skin he's wearing now, but I'll know him when I see him.
Your friend is supposed to meet you here?
That's what I heard. Of course, the man who told me so was carrying a staff he claimed was made from dragon bone, but I know whitewood when I see it. That should have been my first clue, but I had to try something.
All right, back. What does this stranger have to do with your friend?
The long version. Here we go. I'm from an island to the far south called Nasitak. I came here looking for a village elder, a man we knew as Persok. I'm a hunter back home, so tracking someone wouldn't normally be a problem. But Persok's trail is cold, to say the least.
Why can't you fight him? There can't be that many people in the Deerwood. He died when I was still a young girl. Forgot to mention that part, did I? I'm looking for his latest reincarnation, which could be anyone. How long have you been looking for a Persok? Her painted brow is lower, and her compact muscular frame sags for just an instant. 5 years. So you've been searching for 5 years. So you've been searching 5 years for a stranger you barely remember. Who could be anyone now?
That about sums it up.
Actually, I know how you feel.
Then you have my sympathies. Hopefully, you've got a better lead than I do.
How's that statuette figure into? She dusts the figurine on her trousers and raises it in her small, flat palm. It's carved in the shape of a bear, smooth and round. The polished adra is worn to a dull mat along its arched back and avoid haunches. A soft glow emanates from within.
Cute, isn't it? It belonged to Persok. Before he returned to the wheel, he left a splinter of his soul in it. Something to help us find him later.
As she holds it out to you, you feel a wisp of sensation. Not quite memories, but traces of someone.
When I left Nasitak, it was completely dark inside. But as I've gotten closer to Persok, it's glowed steadily brighter. Since I've reached the Deerwood, however, it's gotten hard to read. Some days it flickers and goes dark. Others it shines nice and bright, for a few hours. But most of the time, it looks just like this.
I could take a look at it.
I've heard that one before. Whole reason I'm standing here is because some so-called watcher from Forkvale told me he could take a look. For a few golden dukes, of course. I was on my way out of the Balmarsh when I heard talk of a traveling mystic who could supposedly see souls. I knew it was a long shot, but what did I have to lose? I went to see this fellow and gave him the Audra figurine. He made a big show of moaning and rolling his eyes, and after I'd given him 5 golden dukes to lift the shroud, he told me to seek the crossroads in the field between the wolf's lair and the twining trees.
What's Wolf Lair? Defiance Bay. Locals call the current Duke, Duck, Wolf Rin. Sounds like he'd be. Is Twin Trees a real place? You meant Twin Elms. I haven't been there yet, but I hear they have some especially memorable trees. Right?
He thought he was being vague, but I know the area well enough to recognize that he meant this place, right between Defiance Bay and Twin Elms. I had a bad taste in my mouth, but my coin was spent and I'd already left an arrow in his knapsack as a friendly warning. Told him I'd come back and leave him with another if it turned out he was giving me the runaround. I've been here a week now. Guess he had the last laugh after all.
May I see the figurine?
Why?
I'm a real watcher.
You expect me to believe that? After the story I just told you?
What if I'm telling the truth? After 5 years, it's worth taking the chance.
Fine. But if you try to run, just remember that my arrows are faster.
She hands you the figurine, her chapped knuckles grazing your hand. You raise the Andra bear, turning it in the light. As your eyes catch a tiny glinting scratch, the scenery around you melts away. Oh! You're standing on a cliff overlooking the water. Seeing through eyes that aren't your own, you catch the musk of beasts amidst the flesh scent of vegetation, and your heart beats a little faster. You'll have to watch your step up here. You look down just long enough to see the sharp, pale cliffs drop into the water hundreds of feet below you. Oh, this is where I wish I had a high perception. I see a vision of cliffs high over the water. Does that sound familiar? Your question is greeted with shrugs and silence. Standing on a cliff.
What are you talking about? What just happened?
I told you, I'm a watcher. He blinks at you a few times, calculating. I know it sounds strange, but it's the truth.
You realize I've got no coin to give you, even if I did believe you.
Come with me. I've got other business in the area, and we can look for Persock on the way.
If this is your idea of a joke, you may be stuck with me for a while. Lead the way.
We got a full party, chat! Yeah! Are you like a ranger or something? 5th level ranger. Yes, you are. Interesting. Okay. Let's see what you got. Oh, you look like you're a dual wielder. Okay. Recovery speed minus 25%, fine, plus 2 damage reduction. Pierce, freeze, corrode. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's take a look at, plus 15% damage and healing, plus 10 fortitude. Con 12. Nice. Her perception is nuts. I like her. Her survival is crazy. And I like her stealth. All right, so let's look at this. Faithful Companion, plus 30 defense against charm, dominated, confused attacks, minus 5 sec charmed. Okay. Fine hide armor, plus 2 damage. Hunter's Instincts, plus 15 accuracy against primordials, plus 15 accuracy against wilder. Zealous Focus. Okay, that's for me. Hunter's Instincts. Ah, then we have marked. Oh, you have marked prey. Okay. Only once per encounter. You have second wind. You actually have second wind. Only plus 25% though. And then Arctic Fox Companion, Udamak. And Wounding Shot, 2 per encounter. If successful, hobbled for 11 seconds. Accuracy versus fortitude. User, primary attack. 100% damage inflicted over time. Okay, what does Hobble do? Hobble characters have their dexterity reduced by 2, movement by 1.5, and reflex by 20. I like that. And there's Utamak. And talents, weapon focus peasant. Focus peasant, passive, +6 accuracy, hatchet, spear, quarterstaff, hunting bow, unarmed. All right, Utamak. – 5 minutes, 7 seconds. Okay. All right, so you're definitely not our mechanics person. That would be him. You can use level 5 scrolls. Good God. I need to look at this companion stuff. Faithful companion. Primary companion gains improved defense against charmed. Interesting. Okay. What's the range on this? 11 meters. 10 meters. Okay, so far. Yeah, she has the longest range. You. Now, what all do you do? You have... Okay, so... Go and talk. Zagani draws beside you, her fox following at her heels, and takes a seat next to you.
Even if you are putting one over on me, it's nice to have a hunting party again.
Sounds like you've been... finding our Persock must be important for you to have traveled so long.
5 years for me. Must be 30-something for Ichimak.
Oh, right, because like dog years or something like that. Yeah, what an adventure.
It certainly started out that way. It's been a long hunt. A long time away from my family. Before, I'd crossed the tundra of Nasitok following caribou herds. I didn't want to leave Kalu and our children, but I was eager to visit lands my people rarely do. But 5 years without finding him. It's like 2 hours of necking. I'm ready to be done with it.
Why do you have to find Persock?
Soul recovery is an old village tradition. We call it the Tarnek Ilitsak. Once in a generation, we seek the soul of a much respected and long dead village elder. We tell him what's changed in the village, how people remember him. The only other Tarnek Ilitsak during my lifetime happened when I was a girl, not long after Persock died. We feasted on blubber and fermented milk for a week, and we honored the chosen huntress as a hero. Then she left, and we returned to our duties. We still sang her name to the skies during festival season, but we otherwise didn't speak of her.
What happened to her? I don't think she ever returned. It happens that way sometimes. She folds her arms, her expression sober. Sure your village still remembers you. Oh, I see.
It's not being forgotten by my village that troubles me, but Sometimes I wonder how my husband and children remember me, if they think of me often.
Of course they do. They must. I would like to believe it, and yet sometimes days go by and I realize that they have not crossed my thoughts. Such days are rare, but they happen. It shames me to think of it, but more than that, it scares me.
Still, there's no point in dwelling on it. More often, I find myself wondering whether Persoc will remember us. You claim to see souls. What do you think? Do you remember your past lives?
In fragments. She leans a hair's breadth closer. Really? What's that like? Hmm. I've been learning a lot about myself.
Good things, I hope. Maybe Persoc will be the same way. Would make my job of telling him about the village a lot easier.
What would you tell him about your village?
Masuk is probably much the same as it was 100 years ago. We live between tundra and frozen forests, and the land takes as much as it gives. But our hardships bring us together. And the elders truly unite us. They keep the stories of past generations, and they guide us from season to season, through good years and lean.
Inamak brushes against her hip and she scratches his head. Recently, there have been a lot of good years. My aunts say we've had fewer clashes with neighboring villages thanks to the hunting territories that Persoc helped establish. In bad years, we rely on trade with the merchants that pass our shores. We exchange walrus tusks and steel pelts for grains that last us the hard winters. Persoc brokered a lot of those agreements too. He got this from one of the Amuan ships that used to trade with us. Sounds like Persoc did a lot for you people.
That's what I'm supposed to remind him.
Sounds like you're on a hunt of your own, though. You feel the thrill of the chase, or ready for this to be over? Too early to tell. And she nods. Fair enough. Might as well keep moving while we got daylight. I like to talk some more. What's on your mind? I want to hope this just became the talk stream. I apologize, guys, if this isn't your thing, but I really like this kind of stuff. I want to know about your homeland. Nasatak? And she rubs her nose with one broad finger. The big island in the middle of the Deadfire archipelago. More about Deadfire. Just off the coast of the white that winds, tundra mostly, with a few snow-covered forests in the warmer parts. Most of us live in fairly small villages. By standards here, anyway, mine is Masak. Masak. What's Nasatak like? She shrugs. Cold, but not as cold as the white that winds. The few kith who visit Nasatek find it sparse. But there's plenty to sustain a village if you know where to look. She ticks the items off of her calloused fingers. We get hides and meat from caribou, seals, and small whales. Bone, too, which makes fine bows and arrows. Ooh. Community is important to us. We survive or perish together, so everything we do, every week-long hunt, every wall we build is for the village. Who lives there? Mostly Anutonic, like me. People here call us Boreal Dwarves. Boreal Dwarves. Migratory clans of Glamfelon from the White that Winds sometimes spend the colder seasons on Nasatak, but we don't see too many other foreigners who can tolerate the elements. She pats a weather bronze arm, though those of us born in Nasatak like to say we have a hardy layer of seal skin just beneath our flesh. Tell me more about Masak. We're a tundra village. To an outsider's eye, we're probably not much different from the others around us, but our elders have stories that go back hundreds of years. Epic hunts, battles with neighboring villages, sojourns across the sea. Share these stories too. Tell me about Udamak. She scratches behind his ear. A good hunter, but not much of a talker, and that's been fine by me. When we hunt in Nasatak, we almost always bring our foxes with us. They help us track and flush game, and they're fearless defenders against bears and snow leopards. Clever Udamak has always been my favorite. You have a family back in your village? Of course. We never send a woman who hasn't had the chance to find a mate and have a couple of children of her own. Aren't your husband? That's a weird. Tell me about your children. No, now I've had 5. Yeah, Kona, Etsua, Najuo, Anik, and Malak. Etsuya and Anik died young in long, lean winters. Malak was barely talking when I left. She scrapes a thumbnail along the handle of her hunting knife. You probably won't know me when I get home. She frowns, her hand falling from the knife. Even in Nasatak, I spend most of my time on the hunt, but then it's easier to relish the hunt when I know I'll see my family enjoying our kill. What's your husband like? Khalil's a good man. He's raised our children well and built us a strong home while I've been on hunts. Our parents chose us for one another when we were still young. Not the way things are usually done here, but ours chose well. He smiles. We came to appreciate each other as helpmates first, then friends, and then, well, you know how it goes. There's a hint of blush below the stripe of face paint. This is gonna be an awkward question. Are you worried your husband will? Are you kidding? I'm the best shot. Oh boy. That's all. Okay. What do you do back in Nasatak? I'm a long hunter. That was really an awkward question. I'm a long hunter. I stalk game across the tundra with some of the other wives. We usually hunt caribou and oxen, but we find hares and birds too. It's a good and respectable position to see so much of Nasatek in the company of my friends and sisters. This is one of the pleasures of life in Masak. I'm curious about your search for Persak. I'll tell you what I can, but pilgrimages like mine are rare. Why do your people have this tradition? She pulls the bear figurine out of her satchel, running a finger along its smooth back. It's something we've always done. The elders say it was first begun to forge ties in other villages. It's hard to fight over a caribou herd when you see someone you respect on the other side. We also believe that passing our history on in this way keeps us stronger, and it helps them, the elders, I mean, return to us after they've been away from us for a generation or more. They can use the experience they've accumulated over lifetimes to lead the village again. Are elders usually reborn so far from the village? Most often they return somewhere in Nasatak, a member of another village, or they're reborn among the Glenfell of the White that wins. Even so, it's hard to say what's usual. A mischievous grin crinkles in her eyes. When my grandfather was a boy, the elder came back as a polar bear. The huntress chosen for the task had to recite half of her village deeds while running from the beasts. That's kind of hilarious. Even so, there have been journeys longer than mine. Some last decades, and the huntress doesn't always return. What happens when the elder is found? That depends on the man or woman he's become. It's easiest when the rebirth happens in another village of Nasatak, where their tradition is understood. Even in the White that wins and the southern islands of the Deadfire Archipelago, people understand this custom and will welcome you politely enough, even if their souls do not remember. She shrugs. But sometimes you find someone whose soul has no memory of the village, and you have to tell him of people who remember him still. As disheartening as this is, you hope that the reminder will aid his soul in the future life. How'd you get picked to come search for Fursock? Figurines, another old village tradition. Elders watch the caribou migrations and cast seal bones to determine the right time for this journey. When the omens were determined, all the village wives drew shark teeth. We're the ones that go away to hunt and fish, so we're the best suited for a task like this. Anyway, I grabbed the little tooth. He frowns. Traveling so far is a rare privilege for us. But as you can see, the journey can be unpredictable. What are your thoughts on my search? Helps to know what you're hunting. You've got a lot of tracks to follow, but they'll lead as anyone's guess. No, but where they'll lead is anyone's guess. Okay. Well, I guess that's all the talk for that one. Let's carry on. That was a bit rough. Okay. Oh. I have a fox with me. This is great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now to clear this map out. Damn, 270 experience for that one cat? Okay. Okay, all right. Nice. What enchantments can we do with you? I cannot do anything with you just yet. But that's okay. That fight right there felt a lot better. Pretty sure that fight would have just kind of mauled my face a bit. Oh, I didn't check to see if okay. Does he go up 68? No.
Huh.
Because is your passive not turning on or something? Abilities. Where's it at? Faith. Oh! Inspires all enemies in the vicinity when the Paladin downs an enemy, providing a temporary bonus to all defenses. Oh!
Ready, Watcher.
Okay. Wow, they're Wow, one's already down. Jeez. I like that.
Hey. Hmm?
Boom. Hearth Harvest. +5 adds +5 deflection, plus 25% burn damage. Oh. Ew. Meh? Yeah, weak. I like the +5 deflection, but
I'll take a look.
man. Okay, so what were yeah, they're just called normal lions. They're just called lions. Okay.